Hi there, welcome back to the channel. My name is Pete Matthew. Today there's no preamble, there's no opening title sequence, and I've locked that idiot Pedro in a cupboard because I don't want to be disturbed. What I want to do today is to take the retirement cash flow planning we've done over the past couple of weeks of videos, show you how we do that in the amazing Voyant Go app. I'm going to try and build a working plan in as short as time as possible. Should be fun. Let's go. So here is a blank plan for Pete and Joe Voyant, and we're going to just show you how quick it is to add various things in. So we need firstly to give both of them an income. You can see their ages there in the middle, 56 and 57. These folks would like to retire at age 60. So we've got some timeline events. I'm going to keep these on rather than show you how I add them, but they want to retire at Pete's age 60, that's Joe's age 61, because Pete is a toy boy. She's a year older than him. So they're still working currently, so we need to give them an income. So let's do Pete first, and we'll just call it Pete, job. He's employed, his salary is £65,000, and there's a £5,000 bonus on that as well. And that is in payment now and will end at his retirement event. Let's add a job for Joe. Employment. It's actually self-employed. This is for Joe, not Pete. She's a consultant. Spell it right. Close. Consultancy. And she is down to only a day or so a week now. I'm sorry, 2 or 3 days a week now, so that she was earning a lot more than that. But she'll do that for the next few years until they decide to retire. Actually, what I will do, Peter said that he'd quite like to go part-time. So even though he's earning 65, let's say that here after a couple of years, Pete, part-time, want to create a new step. It'll go down from 65 down to 40,000 at that point there. And we click done, and then that's done. So let's give them some savings and investments. So firstly, a joint savings account. So we need to make this for both of them. We make it a savings account. We'll call it joint savings. And we're going to put this at £50,000 that they've got in there, and they will never want to have less than 25,000 in it. So we're going to put minimum balance of 25,000, and then the system will never spend so much money that there's less than 25 grand in that account. So we'll do that there. Now let's give them stocks and shares ISAs. Let's do Joe first. So J, S and S ISA. She has £240,000 in it. Nice work. Okay, that is fine. We'll just leave that in there. We'll give Pete his investment as well. Pete, S and S ISA. And there is £176,000 in there because Pete hasn't done so well with his investments or hasn't saved as much. Okay, so we've got their savings and investments in place. The system builds them cash sweep accounts, so we don't need to do anything there. Let's give them a property. And this will be their main residence. So it's in joint names, so it's joint main res. And the market value of that is £450,000, say. They bought it for $200,000. Not that it makes much difference. And they don't have a mortgage. We can link a debt here, create a new debt and link it, but they don't have a mortgage, so we're going to leave that where it is. And then let's give them some pensions. So they both will have a state pension. So let's do Pete first this time. He's not currently receiving benefits. He's going to get the full state pension, which in today's terms is that much. Joe is the same. Pension, state pension. This time it's for Joe. Not currently in payment, but has the full state pension benefit. She has a DB scheme, so we'll do final salary, even though that's not technically the right term. I'm going to put this in Joe's name, so Joe, DB scheme. It's a deferred scheme. She's not in it anymore. So the expectation or the current benefits is £23,500 she's going to get from that. It's going to escalate both in deferment and in in payment. Pete will get half of it if Joe dies first, and the normal retirement age is 65. But she might take it early, so let's put that in there. And then let's give Pete a pension as well. He can have a money purchase plan. We'll call it a SIP. Pete, SIP. And there is currently a value in this of £375,000. Okay. And Pete would like to take a big chunk of tax-free cash when he retires. So we're going to apply crystallization. We're going to do that there. And we're going to crystallize 100% of the pension at the point at which they retire. Take 25% tax-free cash. Let's put the crystallization there. That's correct. Okay. So far so good. We're looking good, but we also need to give them some goals. This is the money they want to spend. So we put in a goal. We'll call it a pre-retirement goal, but instead we're just going to change it and just call this general spending. In fact, let's not call it that. Let's just call it basic expenditure. Why not? And this we're going to put down as $3,000 a month, $36,000 a year. We can give it a priority, but because this is a basic expenditure, it's the highest priority, and we're going to keep that at that level for the rest of their life, rising obviously by inflation. But they don't just want to, survive. They want to live well. So we're going to give them another. Oh, doesn't actually look like I deleted my goals from before, so I'm going to delete this one and cheat a little bit because there's a few more in here. So basic expenditure is the one we've just put in. They want to live a bit better than that, though. So we've actually assumed that they will spend from the point, from now, let's just check the timing. Yeah, for the rest of their life, they will actually spend an extra £2,000 a month on living well. So £60,000 a year, £5,000 a month lifestyle. Very nice. By separating it out like this, we can actually play with it and potentially increase that or decrease it. Pete would really like a Tesla, and he wants to buy that when he retires. And they would also like a really nice big holiday of £30,000. Let's just put one more in. So I'll put it in as a single year expense for the purposes of this. So gift to daughter. Oops, spell it right. £75,000. It's going to happen at that point. Set as a start event and do that. Let it refresh, and now we look at our chart. And remember, we've been talking about the timeline, folks? Well, here's what a timeline looks like in a proper plan. So the black line, if I just hide all, the black line is expenses in the year. So they're paying a lot of expenses because they're still working here on in the early part. So they're paying some tax as well. This is when they retire, so they're going to buy a Tesla and have a nice holiday. Then their spending sort of settles down a bit. And then this is when they make a big gift to their daughter. And can you see that their spending drops down a little bit at various points? You can see that's in our living well. I've actually stepped it down. So it starts at £2,000 a month. Then when they hit age 75, it drops to £1,500 a month. And then when they hit 85, it drops to £1,000 a month. So their extra spending reduces from age 25, but still their lifestyle in today's terms never drops below £4,000 a month. That's the £3,000 basic expenses, and this is their living well. And you can see on the chart how that, do it again, there we go. You can see how the expenditure drops down at those various points. So on a cash flow chart, red is bad, so we need to cover up the red. Firstly, with employment income, so that's what's going on early on here. You see Pete's employment when he goes down to 4 days a week or 2.5 days a week or whatever, the employment income drops off. It stops altogether. The mid-blue color stops when they retire. We know when their state pensions are going to kick in, which is down here, which is great. Yep, that's looking good. And also, remember, she has a DB scheme. And this is what I mean when I talk about the danger zone. So they're sort of early retirement. Before their state pensions are fully in, although there is DB benefits here kicking in, before their full secured income is kicked in, they're going to be dipping into their portfolio, which they do from savings and investments. And you remember, Pete wanted to take his tax-free cash, and that's coming in orange. So now we have no red in this chart. We can see the value of their assets. Taking their property out, you can see these people are just getting richer, so they need to spend a bit more money or give more away or whatever. We can bring in their property. You can see the value of their property in the purple color. It's a pretty good cash flow. This one, obviously, artificially made to look so by the way I've planned it. But this is Voyant Go, and this is available as part of Meaningful Academy Retirement Planning and Build Wealth. Okay, now that's a super quick plan, fairly simple. No idea how long it took yet because I haven't edited it yet, but I'll put the total plan building time right here. Voyant Go is super powerful, and it's usually only offered by financial advisors to their clients, and not many advisors do that. But you can get access for free for 1 year as part of the one-off cost of a membership of Meaningful Academy in either the build wealth or the retirement planning phases of the academy. Worth mentioning, the retirement planning phase is currently in a special launch pricing, and that's going to go away soon. So don't hesitate to jump on that. Everything you need to know is at meaningfulacademy.com, so go check it out. Now inside the academy, I will teach you how to build a plan in Voyant Go. There's a ton of videos inside the academy to show you how to do that and walk you through building your own plan, and then maybe trying some different scenarios like retiring 5 years early. How cool would that be? So again, meaningfulacademy.com, go check it out, and don't forget the retirement planning phase is on a special launch pricing right now, so go check it out. Back to something like normal programming next week, so hit the like button if you'd be so very kind, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week.